Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you've already been here, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. So in today's video, we'll be talking about all of the different phases of the moon, what energy each of the phases is associated with, and how to best utilize its energy. Also, we'll talk about what sign the moon is in and how to use the energy wisely the best that you can. And at the end, we'll also do a pick-a-pile reading. I'll timestamp everything in the description box below, so if you'd rather skip ahead to the readings, you can go right ahead. So I believe it's 8. There's 8 different phases of the moon. So we'll start with the new moon. This is when you can't see it in the sky at all, where the earth is between the sun and the moon and it's completely blacked out and dark. So everybody talks about the full moon, and the new moon is highly underrated. The new moon has just as strong of an energy as the full moon, and the new moon is for going within, planting your seeds, and creating a plan for manifesting. And it especially is helpful to work with the sign that new moon is in. Whenever it's a new moon, the sign it's in is always going to match whatever the sun sign it's in. For example, so Aries season that we're in right now with the sun, we actually have 2 new moons this Aries season. So the new moons will be in the sign of Aries, so you want to manifest, set intentions and manifest for things that involve Aries energy, like passion, motivation, lighting that creative fire, independence, originality. If you're trying to manifest something along the lines of that subject, the new moon, I mean, it's a good time to do it no matter what the sign is, whenever you're feeling it, right? But that new moon in Aries, that's for setting intentions for things that have to do with anything involving Aries energy. So we've got the new moon. Now anything that's after the new moon, it's growing, it's increasing, so it's in the waxing half of the moon. So after the new moon, it becomes a waxing crescent, so it's a crescent that's growing. That's all about new, fresh energy. When you see that sliver of a moon setting in the west, from about 8 to 11 p.m., that's a waxing crescent, meaning it's going to continue to get bigger. It's after the new moon, but before that next full moon. Then you have the waxing half moon, also known as the first quarter moon. I know that's really confusing. So that one's all about action, putting into action those plans that you had to further manifest your goals. So that's when you see that half moon in the sky. Even though they call it a first quarter moon, it's actually the half. Then you've got the waxing gibbous moon. I know this is getting really confusing. So all that is when it's fuller than a half moon, but before the full moon. That's a waxing gibbous moon. That's thinking about everything in those intentions that you set 6 months ago. Because the moon is going to become full, and whatever sign that is in, that's all about the harvest, thinking about your progress, how far you've come, and it's all about release. After that full moon, you have the waning gibbous, so that it's kind of close to full, but before it becomes that half moon of the waning half, third quarter, also known as the 3/4 moon. That one is all about release, letting go what no longer serves you, keeping the good things that you harvested, and letting go of what no longer serves you in your life. So then you've got the balsamic moon, also known as a waning crescent. That's that sliver of a moon that you see at dawn when most of you that work third shift, or first shift, and you're on your way to work or on your way home if you work third shift, that dawn moon that's there right before the sun is gonna rise, that's a crescent. So that one I like. That one is all about rest and release. And I don't know why, this is kind of weird, but I feel like, I mean, anytime's a good time for taking naps, but that's all about naps and chocolate for some reason. Chocolate milk and naps, whether it's chocolate cow's milk or a chocolate milk alternative. I don't know why, but it just seems like a good time for chocolate. You don't really need a dedicated time for chocolate, but that seems to be when I crave it the most. And a few other people have said that. Because after the full moon, like right around that full moon time, and you're working with its energy 3 days before and 3 days after, you can't sleep to save your life. That's all of it. Like, a lot of people have insomnia right around the full moon. When it gets close to that new moon, especially that waning crescent, that waning balsamic moon, that's when you're the sleepiest and you'll probably sleep the most. So that's a rough overview of all the 8 phases of the moon and how to work with its energy. Now, to get into the energy of the moon a little bit further, so the moon changes signs about every 2.5 days, and it's not really a planet exactly, but it's the entity that's closest to the Earth, so I feel like it affects us the most. The other planets do too, and it also depends on what it's aspecting, especially if they're aspecting the moon. So that sets the tone and the emotions and the mood of that 2.5 days. It's like we all go through those different moods, and it also depends on if it's waxing or waning. So if it's waning, it's a good time to release anything that has to do with the energy of the moon sign. If it's waxing, it all has to do with manifesting and reaping the harvest of whatever the moon sign is of that day. Now, here's something else that's interesting. Depending on your individual moon sign, let's say that your moon is in Scorpio. The moon is in a waxing gibbous in Scorpio right now. If you were born under a Scorpio moon, especially if you were born while it was a waxing or waning gibbous, what have you, when the phase of the moon and the moon sign matches your moon sign and phase that you were born under, since it's spring right now and the energy is all about renewal, that's your time for release and renewal. You might be in the mood for cleaning, getting rid of old junk, and making everything all sparkly, and it's a good time to work with essential oils like lemon and rosemary, all things that are about refreshing and renewal type of energy. Another thing is, whatever your moon sign is, when it's full in that sign, like let's say that you're a Sagittarius moon, whenever it's a Sagittarius moon on a full moon, that's your power moon when you are the most magnetic and you're attracting everything, and you have those vibes of either being the life of the party or you're sought after, whether it's friendship or romantically, you just draw everybody to you. And for the moon to be full in a certain sign, that only happens once a year, opposite of whatever the sun is in, so it's always a Sagittarius full moon during Gemini season, just as an example. I hope that wasn't too much and it didn't confuse you. Why don't I go ahead and I'll go through all the zodiac signs of your moon sign, not your sun sign, but your moon sign and when your power time is. So we just had a full moon in Libra. So if your Libra moon, your power moon, was that energy that we just had a few days ago on April 5th when it was a Libra full moon. The Libra full moon is always during Aries season because it's that opposite of what the sun is in. If you are a Scorpio moon, your power moon is going to be when it's the full moon during Taurus season, which is late April or May. Whenever it's the full moon in late April or May, and you're a Scorpio moon, that's your power moon. So then if you're a Sagittarius moon, it's always going to be when the sun's in Gemini, late May or June when it's a full moon. If your moon is in Capricorn, your power moon is always going to be late June and all the way through mid to late July when it's Cancer season. Leo season, you've got your Aquarius full moon. That's during the summer, late July, August or so. That full moon is your power moon if you're an Aquarius full moon. For my Virgo moons, your power moon is whenever the full moon is in Virgo. I just got myself all confused. So, okay, so if your moon is in Pisces, your power moon is late August or September during Virgo season when the full moon will be in Pisces. So Pisces moons, your power moon is during Virgo season. My Aries moons, that's going to be during Libra season whenever it's a full moon in late September or October. For my... Yeah, I don't even have this written down. I'm just going off the top of my head, so forgive me if I'm a little sloppy and scattered. So that Aries full moon is during Libra season. The Taurus full moon is during Scorpio season. So if you're a Taurus moon, your power moon is going to be when the sun is in Scorpio, late October or November. So you get all sorts of riled up around Halloween and magnetic, and you might meet your happily ever after at a Halloween party, for example, or draw the love of your life to you, or somebody that's long-term, even if it isn't something that's for your whole life. So Sagittarius season, that's your power time. That full moon, that's in late November or December, when the full moon is in Sagittarius. Yeah, that's the right one. So my Sagittarius moons, full moons, can't talk today. When it's a full moon in Sagittarius season, that's your power moon. For my Cancer moons, no, that would be Gemini moon. So the moon is full in Gemini during Sagittarius season. Sorry for all the sloppiness. So if you're a Gemini moon, your power time is the full moon during Sagittarius season. So sorry for my Gemini moons. So then if you're a Cancer moon, your power time would be during Capricorn season, the opposite season, when it's a full moon in Capricorn. So if you're a Cancer moon, if you're a Cancer moon, Capricorn season, late December, January, will be your power time. If you are a Leo moon, your power time is when it's a full moon during Aquarius season. So whenever the full moon happens in late January through mid to late-ish February, that's going to be your power moon for my Leo moons. For my Virgo moons, your power time will be when the full moon is in Virgo, which is typically during Pisces season. Late February through late March or so. Mid-March, late March. I hope that all makes sense for you with your moon signs and when your most powerful magnetic times are. As if that wasn't confusing enough. So next, we will go ahead to a pick-a-pile reading. I will pause the video and give you the piles to choose from. There's 3 different piles here. Alright, we'll move on to the pick-a-pile reading next. Alright, so we have 3 piles to choose from here. So for pile 1, we have Aquamarine. For pile 2, we have Green Gold Citrine. And for pile 3, we have some Pink Opal. Take as long as you need. Go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to decide which crystal or artwork on the pile you're drawn to the most. Hi there, pile 1. If you chose the Aquamarine, this'll be your reading. We'll go ahead and get a few shuffles here for pile 1 and see what messages will come through for you. Something tells me this has to do with what is going on in pile 1's love life. That's just the feeling that I get, and I feel like most people come to tarot readings because they're curious about their love life. We'll see what comes through, and of course if it doesn't make sense, it's not your story. And try picking your second favorite crystal and see what that pile says. Alright, so right away, one of the cards that flew out of the deck is the Four of Cups in the reverse. The person on your mind, somebody that you're thinking about, is viewing you as a missed opportunity. Let's see what else we can get for pile 1. So in the past, in your energy, you received some type of public recognition, or maybe you just became more popular in general, a little bit more well-liked, getting invited to parties more, putting your... I kind of get right off the bat that someone wasn't giving you the attention that you deserved, so you decided to put your energy elsewhere, and they're a little bit salty because they took you for granted and thought that you would just be sitting around waiting forever. Overall energy that's between the both of you, you almost feel like trying to maintain the connection with this person is a huge burden, because you feel like you put a lot of energy into them and they weren't reciprocating, and then when you finally decide to let it go because it seems like the logical thing to do, boom, they pop up, there they are. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, maybe they were greedy with their time, greedy with their energy, maybe a little bit immature about how they invest their money or save their money. Maybe they overspend on habits that you feel like you've kind of outgrown. This person might be a little bit immature. Interesting. So in your energy, we've got the Ace of Swords. You're pretty cut and dry. You are not shy about communicating with this person. You pretty much tell it like it is in the kindest, nicest way possible. We've got the King of Cups for the main part of the energy of the reading. So this person does have emotions for you. And we've got the Tower card in reverse in their energy. So, like, as soon as you try to leave or pull back your energy, they pop up again. And that's, you know, kind of selfish. It's like, well, if they want you to give them attention, well, then they need to be there as much as you're there for them. In the future energy, alright, so in your energy, we have the Knight of Swords. Again, that kind of goes a lot with that Ace of Swords. That's giving you the green light to go ahead and continue to communicate your thoughts and feelings. You were pretty cut and dry with putting everything on the table for him. You weren't holding back or hiding anything. The energy between you two, we've got the Two of Cups. So there is plenty of love between you, but I feel like you're more mature with your communication, and they have some growing up to do, or, you know, they need to level up a little bit in their communication game. Well, no shit, because why would you be looking for tarot card readings? Or you know me in real life and you're just curious and you like watching me, so thank you. And like I said, if it doesn't make any sense for you, this isn't your reading. Don't try to force it to fit if it doesn't. And in their energy, we've got the Temperance card in the reverse. So they're going to continue to be out of balance. I think that you could make it work. The emotions are definitely there, but I think that they need to work on their communication. And you can straight up just tell them that in a nice way. I mean, if you still want to work it out with them. But if you decide that, nope, you're done, you're sick of wasting time, don't feel guilty about moving on. So for pile 1, what actions is their person going to take towards this connection? Dang! A card went flying out of the deck. So it's the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So that's the card of codependent energy. I think that this person just doesn't want to be alone. And maybe they're spreading themselves all over the place to have backup plans. You know, so, if this person doesn't give them everything they want, then they've got this person on the back burner. And you feel like you've been put on the back burner. And what other action is this person gonna take towards my pile 1 people? The Wheel of Fortune. So they feel like there's unfinished business between you, and that's why they keep popping up. It's like they don't get the concept of either you're in or you're out, you know. It's like they always just kind of want to keep you in their corner, and that's really not fair to you. That's selfish on their part. And it's probably due to their own trauma. They're afraid to be alone. And I think it's being amplified by this current Scorpio moon that we're in. We just came out of the Libra full moon, and now we're in a waning gibbous Scorpio moon. And we've got the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. I think that you tried, and although this person may have emotions for you, you just can't get on the same page with them. So, you know, it's up to you, pile 1. You know, I think that you can work it out with them, but it might be a pain in the butt for you. And what, can I get an outcome for pile 1? What's the outcome? So this just fell right out before I could even get a shuffle in. We've got the 8 of Swords. So I feel like a lot of you may be blind to the truth. In the back of your head, you know that that's true about them, that they don't want to really commit to any one person because they want to be like a squirrel and store all their little food and all their little caches in different places because they're afraid to give their all to one person, because they're afraid to be alone. If they just pick one person, that means they have to give up all their other options. And then if that one person leaves them, well, then they're stuck with nothing and they're all alone. They're too afraid to be alone for that. And that, I think that may be the truth of the matter with this person. And you have, you know, so many good feelings about them that you don't want to see it. If this makes 0 sense at all and you're perfectly happy where you're at and you're with a person that's secure and good to you and giving to the connection in a healthy manner, don't worry about it. This isn't you. This isn't your reading. And I'm actually going to pull a couple of oracle cards for my pile 1 just to get some extra verification, see if there's messages or reminders that the universe feels you need to hear. It's nice out, so you can hear the I don't know if it's a Harley, but motorcycles outside nonetheless. I live on somewhat of a busy street and I've got the windows open because it's a beautiful day, so I hope all of you managed to get outside today. Interesting. So we've got become an alchemist. And if you don't understand what that means, so becoming an alchemist basically means turning your pain into power, turning a shit situation into gold, being resourceful. like whatever's going on in your life, it's all about making the best of what you have. You know, so if maybe you're a little down in the dumps because your person isn't being everything that you wish that they would be to you, think about your solid ride or die friends that you have, your family members if you have some solid good ones. You know, it's a nice day outside. Maybe you're feeling a little bit lonely, but the sun is shining right now and it's a beautiful day to enjoy outside. Depending on what you've got going on, within reason, of course. There's situations where there's just no way to say, look at the bright side. You could be going through something extreme. I'm also going to pull a couple of cards from my homemade oracle deck. I'll laugh if the messages contradict it. A lot of times it verifies what the tarot cards already said. Huh. Oh, wow. Okay, so it definitely verifies. It says one of you needs to speak up, just like the tarot cards were saying. There's blocks in communication. You know, I think things would go a lot nicer, and there could be hope for this connection if your person would be more effective with communicating. And we have, I've been through a lot, and I know you have too. I don't trust easily. You seem too good to be true. Time will tell. Yeah, I mean, maybe just like the cards were saying, their past trauma could be giving them blockages in their communication. All right, pile one. So I wouldn't totally write this person off. I think there is hope, you know, but maybe they just need to work on their communication and, you know, maybe it could work out. I hope that made sense for you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, a good rest of your week. And there's a little bit of sunshine left depending on how long this video takes to upload, and I hope you manage to get outside and enjoy yourself. Thank you, pile one. We'll move on to pile two next. Hi there, pile two. If you chose the green gold citrine, isn't that beautiful? This'll be your reading, so we'll get some tarot cards and maybe we'll even pull a few oracle cards at the end. And something tells me that with all these readings today that it's about what's going on in your love lives. And if you don't have any question about what's going on in your love life, then maybe this isn't the reading for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Oh my, a whole bunch of cards just flew all over the place. A lot of strong energy in this reading already with the way the cards went flying. Some of you might be feeling really high-strung. You might even be feeling like your vibes are electric and you've got mad squirrel energy, and, you know, you might have gotten your energy back after feeling like you've been in a slump. What do we have for my pile two? And I'm hearing the word stability, and the number 4 may be important to you. Could be talking about the month of April for the number 4, 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months, just something random that came to me. Maybe you were asking, when will I get this stability? Or when will I get this new change in my life that'll bring me the stability that's my goal I'm trying to reach? Something involving the number 4, April, 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months. You might even get that phone call in 4 hours on a Saturday, though. I doubt it, but you never know. All right, what do we have for pile 2? So overall energy, we've got the Reversed Five of Swords. So there might be some kind of ending to a conflict or gossip that's been going on. Maybe you've removed yourself from a situation where there were a lot of people talking shit. Lots of gossip, lots of immature energy, very immature communication. And I feel like you made that move, or you're in the process of taking that next step to remove yourself from those toxic people in your life. You just don't vibe with them anymore. You're realizing how immature they are and how toxic their energy is, and that they're very negative. I don't even know if that's your love life or not, but could be, or it could be a group of people that you, and maybe there were people coming in between you and the person that is on your mind. So in the past energy here, for overall energy between the two of you, we've got the Four of Cups. So that talks about maybe you two weren't appreciating each other as much because you've gotten complacent. Maybe you've been with this person for a long time, and what can happen in long-term relationships, you kind of get the blahs. You know, that blah feeling because there hasn't been a lot of sparks lately. Because you've been together for a while, hasn't been really anything exciting or new. You know, and you might be feeling bored, or there's some boredom between the two of you. Or because you got rid of some toxic people, you're kind of sitting there like, okay, now what? What are we gonna do with our time now that we're not using it, freaking fending off these nutty-ass people? So we've got the Mother of Wands, that's like the Queen of Wands, in the upright in the past energy. Yeah, you always just stayed true to yourself. You never fell for these people's BS, and maybe your partner did. And then in their energy, we've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. They realize that somebody in their life that may have been somebody that was even getting between you was a lying little fuckbag. And you push this person, you know, whoever this negative energy is, you pushed it away. Or maybe they were being a lying little fuckbag, for all we know. Only you know the true answer to that one. And in our current energy for you, pile two, we've got a lot of reversals and we've got swords energy. So we've got the Daughter of Swords in the reverse. That's basically like the Page of Swords. You might have been creeping on this person's page. It could have been the negative person in your life, or that person on your mind. And, you know, you're kind of digging for information. It is the Stalker card, so you are the one that's got stalker energy. It doesn't mean that you're crazy, you know, but it might be that you are being like an FBI agent right now, because there's been so many lies and confusion and, you know, people being deceitful. You're kind of creeping to, like, see what's going on and looking to see what information you can find. We've got the Father of Swords in the reverse for your energy together. That's like the King of Swords in the reverse. That's a great horned owl with the rainbow sword. That's really cool. Ooh, yeah, so somebody really, really made you very angry, or somebody was a straight up a-hole, is currently being one right now. And we've got the Ten of Swords. No, actually, that's the Ten of Wands and their energy. So right now, they're feeling the weight of a very heavy burden. Yeah, probably trying to straighten out whatever BS and people talking was going on. In the future energy, in your energy, we've got the Moon in the reverse, so I think maybe some of you have been a little bit deceptive, but not in a malicious way, more like lying to get the truth, because you've had enough of these people being deceitful, that it's like, alright, you're going to bust them and drop them out on their ass, because you're trying to get the truth of the situation and bust them out on their BS. So you're being deceitful, but in a way where it's, like, to defend yourself. Only you know the truth. You know what your intentions are. Nobody can tell you what's in your heart but you. Not me, not the cards, not anyone. Only you can prevent forest fires. Well, that too, but only you know what's really in your heart. So, in the energy in the future between the two of you, we've got the Son of Pentacles, which is like the Knight of Pentacles. So, they're very slow moving. It's like you can't figure out what's taking them so long to see through the BS with these people. Whatever it is, something popped into my head. Maybe they have a child and it's talking about their child's other parent. Because why else wouldn't you be able to remove the toxic energy? It must be somebody like a family member, or maybe they've got baby mama or baby daddy drama, something like that. It's connected to maybe a family member or even people they work with. Something where you can't get away from the toxic energy as easily as you normally would. Because normally, you recognize something's toxic, you drop it without a problem. But there's some situations where it's not as easy to do that so fast. And in their energy, we've got the Chariot in the reverse for future energy. So they feel really stuck right now, and they're gonna continue to feel really stuck for a while, because they just don't know what to do. Alright, so we'll get a shuffle. What actions does this person plan on taking for pile 2? What actions does pile 2's person, what actions are they gonna take? If any, because they sound like they're running with their tail between their legs. And the fact that they're not sticking up for themselves, and maybe you feel like they're not sticking up for you, even though they're not necessarily cheating on you, and it might not even have to do with another person that was a romantic situation. It could be a family member. When you feel like they're not sticking up for you for some reason when they should, like maybe one of their family members disrespected you in some way, that's a form of disloyalty, and you feel like you're betrayed. I don't know if this is your story, but that's what I'm getting. If this doesn't make any sense, pile 2, try picking a different one of the piles and see if that makes sense. Alright, so future actions of the person on pile 2's mind. We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse. Oh, so maybe they're finally coming out of hibernation. And interesting, there's a picture of a lamb with the sunshine that makes me think of the vernal equinox. It makes me think of Easter. Families are getting together over the Easter weekend. Maybe they'll finally stick up for themselves. Maybe they'll have a conversation. They're coming out of hibernation, though, to come towards you. And we've got the Lovers in reverse. Oh, and interesting, there's a picture of 2 geese. So that's interesting. Geese are very, very protective of their families. They're protective of their goose significant other, their goose boyfriend, their goose girlfriend, or whatever. You've seen them. You've been to a park where you've gotten in between a goose and its babies, and what happens? That's what happens. They hiss at you and they're out for your head. So you feel like this person should have been protecting you guys' connection. They should have been protecting you, defending you, and it looks like they're not going to. They're going to continue to run with their tail in between their legs for a while, at least in the near future. And what else do we have? The Mother of Pentacles. Alright, so they will protect you, but it will be very slow moving. Even though you shouldn't need another person to protect you, if it's their family that's maybe picking on you or treating you like crap, they should be sticking up for you and setting the boundary with their family or with that person that's connected to them that's shitting all over you. They should be putting their foot down with them and not allowing it, because that's disrespectful to you. Can I get an outcome for pile 2? What's the outcome for pile 2 in their person and this situation that's going on? You know, or, you know, maybe you're planning a wedding or planning a move and there's too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people overstepping their boundaries, thinking that they've got more of a say in it than the people that it directly involves. So we've got judgment. So, you know, the final decision is I think that this person will put their foot down. They do feel torn. I mean, you can't blame them. If it were the other way around and it was your family and they were not being nice to your significant other, you know, you wouldn't want to put up with it either, but at the same time, you know, it's your family members. Family members can be toxic too. Just because they're blood, it doesn't always mean that they're right. So, you know the answers with what's going on. I hope everything works out for you. I'm going to get a couple of oracle cards and see if that can verify anything or, you know, give some messages that we didn't see before for you, pile 2. Alright, what kind of messages can I get for pile 2? So it says, tell shame to suck it. Well, maybe you're being shamed for something. Maybe you feel like you're being unfairly judged. You know, or maybe you're being hard on yourself. Maybe some of you are judging yourselves, you know, and you're feeling guilt and you're feeling shame, and it's natural and human to feel that way. But whatever you do, don't stay stuck there. Do what you have to do to pull yourself out of it, because that's really low vibrational energy, and you're hurting yourself if you stay stuck there, or if you allow others to convince you that what they're trying to shame you for is true. And even if it's something that is true, it doesn't mean that you have to pay for it for the rest of your life, or that you should tolerate people treating you like crap because you're not perfect. Are they perfect? You know what? Like, I think it was Bob Marley that said this. If you're gonna point the finger at me, make sure that your hands are clean. Yeah, don't believe somebody that's pointing the finger at you that's got a booger on the end of it. Sounds like all these people are doing is sitting around picking their noses and judging. And what does that really say about them? What, like, do they not have enough going on in their lives that they've got time to sit there and analyze you and, you know, dig up info on you and throw it in your face? Alright, so from my homemade oracle deck, we have someone, oh, interesting. Someone told them lies or gossip about you. If they made assumptions, why would you want someone who can't think for themselves anyhow? Isn't that crazy how sometimes oracle cards can completely line right on up with tarot, you know, with what the tarot cards were saying? And we've got a timeline here. Full moon in Aquarius, late July or August could be a significant time of year for you in this situation. This person could also have heavy Aquarius placements in their birth chart, or you could. So that could be more verification that this is, you know, that this is your message that you're supposed to receive. All right, pile 2. Ooh, sorry that was heavy, and, you know, I wish that it could be all sunshines and rainbows, but if there's situations in your life where it's not all that happy, at least it's verification that hopefully makes you feel supported and encouraged to stick up for yourselves. Alright, pile 2, I wish you the best of luck with everything. You know, stand your ground, don't let people walk all over you. You set those boundaries and you stick to them. You know, do what you need to do to protect your peace. You deserve it. Well, I wish you a great rest of your weekend and a great rest of your week. We'll move on to pile 3 next. Thank you, pile 2. Hi there, pile 3. If you chose the pink opal, this will be your reading. So we'll get some shuffles and we'll see what's going on for pile 3. And I feel like the theme is your love life, your significant other in your life, whether it's someone new coming through, a current relationship. If that doesn't fit you and that's not what you have on your mind, this may not be your reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. You can always choose another pile and see if that lines up for you. What do we have for pile 3? Ooh, lost a card. Alright, so we had quite a few cards jump out of the deck. So we started with the 9 of Cups. So that's the card of emotional codependency. It could be you, it could be your person, one of you or both of you is really afraid to be alone. You may be that person that's always, you feel like you're the fixer, you're the healer. And it may not be romantic. This could have to do with your friends. You're that friend that, you know, people call at 3 in the morning, or maybe not 3 in the morning. You know, you may be that friend that people call or want to come to with their problems because you have a very comforting energy and a comforting vibe to you, which is great and all, but sometimes it can drain you. Your significant other might be going through a rough time, and you might be starting to feel like, well, when is the attention going to be on me a little bit? Like, you're giving and giving and giving to this person, but you feel like, well, who's going to be there for me? I'm there for them, but nobody's here for me. We've got the Empress in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. You could be dealing with a toxic Taurus. Not saying that all Tauruses are toxic. Every sign has good people and, you know, toxic ones. Or it may not be the person, but a Taurus whose energy right now might be a little bit toxic. Most likely a female. You want to come together with this person, but you're not sure if they can reach that level of emotional support that you're hoping for. Like, you've been very comforting and supportive to them, but they're not being supportive to you, you feel. And then we've got that Knight of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like this person is giving you the cold shoulder, yet they're watching you. That can be, you know, kind of immature energy there. And what else do we have? So you're feeling victorious right now because you had the self-control to make that head-over-heart decision because you felt that the person was draining you and not reciprocating and giving back the energy that you've been giving to them. You gave it a chance. It's been going on for a while and you said enough's enough. Your person's energy, either they could have a lot on their plate right now and they could be feeling a level of burnout and that could be affecting your connection, or they are having a hard time deciding between the 2 decisions and you said, fuck it, I'll decide for you, bye. I don't know if that's your situation or not. Let's see what else. In the future energy, we've got, your energy for the future, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. I've been getting this card in a lot of my readings lately. This is the card of wise investments. where you're putting your energy into where you're pulling back. It could be investments financially. What makes the most sense? What's the most logical? And involving this person with what we just got, it looks like you're deciding, no, I'm not investing into this anymore. The door is open if they ever want to talk, but you're choosing to just not really invest much towards it anymore because it's not serving you in any way. You know, emotional connections are a two-way street, and you're going to have your ups and your downs. You may be up while they're down, and vice versa. And it's not always going to be exactly the same or perfectly equal. But when you're constantly coming towards them like this, and they're only coming a little bit of the ways towards you, and it's kind of like that the majority of the time, might not be worth it to keep investing. And then we've got the moon card and the energy between you, so I feel like you're not getting the full story on something. There's something that they have not communicated to you yet, and you've had that feeling. Like there's some kind of hidden situation going on, and it might not be like deceptive, like not necessarily that they're cheating, but they might have more things going on in their life that they're not telling you about that might be affecting the connection. And in their energy, they've got the Five of Cups. They may be dealing with some sort of loss. You know, maybe they lost their job. They lost their respect for somebody that they once admired. Maybe they're just fresh out of a relationship. Maybe they're not over their ex. That could be part of the problem. Or they may have lost a loved one, you know, and when that happens, of course, you want to be empathetic. You know, only you know when it's time to keep giving your energy and pull back. I feel like this is kind of a similar theme in all of the readings today for all of the piles. I don't know if that makes any sense for you, pile 3. If it doesn't, you know, maybe it's not your story. Take what resonates and leave the rest. So I will pull a few oracle cards and see if that can verify anything or bring some messages that might give some more insight on pile 3. Alright, so came flying right out of the deck. Oh, this is cute. It says, celebrate the little things. And there's a cute little hamster with a cupcake. Celebrate the little things. So maybe a lot of you need to remember to celebrate yourselves. You haven't been celebrating yourselves lately because you've been putting all your attention on this person and trying to be nurturing to them, and you're forgetting to nurture yourselves. And we have always settle for more. That's pretty self-explanatory. That totally makes sense with your reading. So I will also get some oracle cards from my homemade deck here and see what other messages may come through for you. So this one is a timeline, or it might be giving a clue to what's in your charts. So we have new moon in Virgo, late August or September. That might be a significant time of year that has something to do with the connection. It might be when the next forward movement happens. Or one of you or both of you may have Virgo somewhere significant in your chart. And we have, your energy is like a soft, fluffy pile of chinchillas. I also understand those things have teeth, and I may have pushed you too far. So maybe the person on your mind realizes that you're getting burnt out and you deserve love too. Well, whether they realize it or not, it's like, well, I hope they act on it soon, because, you know, you're not gonna want to stay somewhere where you don't feel loved and supported. And what other messages can we get for pile 3 here? Different spiritual beliefs, so maybe that might be an issue. you both might have different differing views regarding spirituality. And because I didn't shuffle the tarot cards about what actions this person's going to take in your outcome, you're getting extra oracle cards. That's how it usually works. You know, it makes up for it somehow, and, you know, that's what's meant to be. So we've got stop overextending yourself. You have feelings too. That totally ties into that. When when we make eye contact, your gaze is electrifying. I can feel it throughout my veins. Or is it the caffeine? I'm not sure, but I love your eyes. This person may have beautiful eyes, or they may comment on you having beautiful eyes. Alright, pile 3, I hope that made sense for you, and I hope that that shed some light on your situation. If it didn't resonate, then it's not your story. I wish you the best of luck with everything. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great rest of your week. Alright, pile 3, well, thank you all for watching, and I hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather. By the time the video uploads, there may or may not be daylight left, so I hope you get outside today. It's nice and sunny, and it's pretty warm. It's about 60 degrees here in southeastern Wisconsin. Well, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you, pile 3.